Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 735. Before getting into this reading, chances are that most of the people watching this video are not subscribed. 1 second. So if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support the growth of my channel, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. My current goal is 500 subscribers so I can have access to offering channel membership, so if you do decide to subscribe, thank you very much for your support and helping me reach my goal. My current milestone I'm focused on for that 500 subscriber goal is 200 subscribers, so thanks for helping out if you do. So, starting with interpreting the number 735. With the number 7, as it's been coming out a lot lately, there is something here that you're trying to learn. I feel a real intention here to expand your consciousness. I feel like the universe and your spirit guides want you to know that they recognize, support, and deeply respect all of the effort that you have been putting into your own healing and spiritual growth, because it matters. It really does matter in your own life and in the bigger picture with other people in the world around us. I am feeling strong magician energy coming through. That card did. That was in yesterday's reading. I feel like I felt this because I was thinking about your power, recognizing how truly powerful you are. Usually whenever that message comes through, it's after I see the number 13. 1 + 3 is 4. 13 is about good luck, but it's about recognizing that you are in control of your luck, of the outcomes, the energies, the relationships, etc. that you attract. Not all of them, but you are in control of who and what has access, even if you fight back. Maybe what you're learning here is learning how to protect yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, learning how to protect your inner world, your true foundation. Without your soul, there is no you, there is no your house or your job or nothing. You are a source of energy. And that's why it matters what kind of energy you put out, because you play a part in, the big grand scheme of energy manipulation, if that even makes sense. I just feel like you're really being called to trust the impact that you have, using the power of using your voice, what you know, the power of your knowledge. And I can say that for every human being, because I feel like that's our strength as humans, is consciousness, or intelligence, or the level of awareness. It's hard because when you think about how animals, I believe they have souls. Maybe there is a spirit animal here for someone, or a past pet that is trying to connect with them. I feel like ancestors. Maybe they're connected to this pet, or they don't have to be. They could be trying to reach out to you. Maybe it could be a dog, but it doesn't have to be a dog. But it definitely could be. I feel the energy pretty strongly. But moving on to the number 3, that's about healing, communicating, expressing yourself, and expanding. It's about patience and acceptance for time and the way things are now, so we can keep moving forward to get to where the way things could be. Whether that's for better or for worse. There's a focus here on potentials. There's a lot of potential in whatever you're learning, whatever you're healing from. And I feel there's, your spirit guides, the universe is really trying to drive home that message of trust, trust, trust your impact, your power, your healing, your energy, the effect that you have on others, directly or indirectly. You can be the person to make a difference. You can be a leader. And if you feel like you stand alone, maybe you're meant to be. Either way, you need to look deep within yourself to decide or commit to a way forward. It's time to lock something in, maybe lock in a decision or a commitment. Or maybe even something a little more spontaneous, like some sort of change. Moving on to the number 5. That timing. Speaking of change, the number 5 is about change and transformation. Embrace the changes, embrace the transformation. I feel the universe is really asking for someone here to trust. Believe. Give yourself permission to trust, to believe, to be optimistic, but to also to be open to disappointment. Give yourself permission to be free, to be open to all possibilities, but grounded in peace and self-awareness. I feel called to think about how well, first, I probably don't even remember what I'm going to talk about, because there was a dog outside, and I was going to say something about it, but when I changed my mind, that's when the dog ran away. Speaking of dogs. You definitely have a past pet here that is a dog, or just a wolf spirit, or something like that. Canine spirit. That dog, though, whenever I see dogs, it's a sign of loyalty and commitment, which is really confirming here that you need to analyze your commitments, what you are currently investing in, anything and everything. If it does not support the future that you want, that you deserve, that you need, maybe it's time to make some changes. What I felt called to talk about before was I decided to take certain distractions out of my life. I didn't have to, I don't think, but I decided to, because then it's like, if I don't have anything to look forward to, what am I waiting on? I don't know. There may be some specific or unique way that you feel called to trick your mind in some way to be more accepting, more patient. Adding up these numbers now. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. 1 plus 5. Well, there's 2 messages here. The number 15 is linked to the devil for me. But like the tarot interpretation, it represents an unhealthy attachment or an unhealthy commitment, or there's an unhealthy, destructive, or potentially destructive, distracting commitment here that feels like it needs to be released. It feels like whatever this is, you feel like you're chasing something. And I have the Empress in reverse, which makes a lot of sense. Got distracted by the bottom of the deck here. That comfort that you're looking for in somebody else or something else seems like it's going to actually come from within. It's not going to be outside of yourself. So it's okay to give yourself permission to let go, because whatever hurt or pain it brings, you can overcome that. You can change how you feel. You can change the way that you think, the way that you look at things. You can change your perspective. You can heal. I think that could be an important lesson for someone around your strength and seeing how truly strong you actually are. One plus 5 is 6. That's unconditional love. It's about pouring unconditional love into yourself so it can overflow to others outside of yourself. If you love others unconditionally but you don't love yourself unconditionally, you're pouring from an empty cup. That's why you're exhausted. Maybe you deal with compassion fatigue. It's okay to choose yourself so you can breathe. To give yourself the space that you need to maintain your peace and stability. You can't give to others if you don't first give to yourself. And when you own something, you're allowed to choose yourself. That feels like a specific message there. Someone might take it if it truly resonates. I'm going to start wrapping up this reading by drawing out a card from the Secrets of Tarot cards by Pinkwood Books. We're going to use this card like usual to take a deeper look at your current situation, what guidance there is for you, and maybe make our way back around to applying the number 735. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse. It says lack of fulfillment, missing a key element, I think. For some reason, I think that means key element, that's why I wrote that. But it reminds me of kinetic energy. Someone here might feel like they have a lot of energy. Maybe you feel restless. Upright, this says emotional stability, comfort, and luxury. I see what I'm feeling with this card. Someone here is surrounded by things. Maybe you have the stability that you need already, and you're just bored, unsatisfied. Regardless, this 9 of Cups in reverse does signify a very deep sense of dissatisfaction, potentially. It doesn't have to be that deep for everybody. But I feel like I'm connecting with someone who it is. Something is missing. And it's interesting that's coming through, because I was talking on the phone with someone, and I talked about how, like, what was missing. Of course something was missing. And I was talking about, like, childhood, something taken away from me when I was younger. Someone could resonate with that and relate. I feel like what's missing is emotional, mental, spiritual, psychological. Spiritual. I feel like that's why you're being encouraged to keep learning, keep healing, to stay focused, to keep embracing change and allowing it to mold your consciousness. Wow. It's about allowing your experiences to teach you what you are meant to know. It's just a matter of if you choose ignorance or wisdom, if you choose to ignore the pain and the source of it and what it means, or if you choose to explore that. So definitely take your choices seriously, especially because the Nine of Cups here with the number 9, I associate that with purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. So if you do feel called or led by a sense of purpose, you can definitely trust that. If you keep moving forward, healing, growing, changing, transforming, you're going to find what's missing. And you're going to, fill your own cup and get rid of this sense of dissatisfaction. You don't have to wait to be satisfied. I feel like you're being encouraged to learn how to be satisfied and appreciative and grateful or whatever with where you're at now, what you already have right now. Because it's going to make it a lot easier to get to where you want to be. Don't make things hard on yourself if they don't need to be. What you're learning here, healing, it's definitely emotional, of course, especially when talking about healing. You're going through a transformation, and this is confirmation to embrace it and to keep moving forward and to trust the process. Trust the journey, especially if you feel led by a sense of purpose. Pay attention.